If you're new here, my name is Michaela. Welcome to my channel. Okay, today for you guys I decided to do some videos on, I have a lot of completed series, both on my Kindle and physically, that are completed and I have not read them. So I wanted to make like a Kindle TBR of unread series and a physical TBR of unread series, and maybe come back to these videos in about a year's time or so and see how many of them I actually read. And maybe this will help motivate me to read some of them, because I don't like having so many just sitting around completely unread. I need to get to them. So this is me trying to motivate myself to do that. Okay, so today all this whole video is just going to be the Kindle TBR. I'm going to do the physical TBR separately because I didn't want this to be too long, but this is just on my Kindle. And I have 9 series on my Kindle that are completed that I have not read yet. So the first one is going to be, it's a comic series. It's Captain America White. This is one of the first series that I got when I got my Kindle, my newer Kindle, a couple years ago. I bought all the issues separately. There's only 5 issues in this series. Captain America is one of my favorite superheroes. Captain Carter, Peggy Carter, she's my absolute favorite, and Supergirl are my absolute favorite. But Captain America is up there. And I think this is just like a special mission that he goes on, as far as I know about it. But I have the whole series, so I would like to read it. The next one that I have on here is the His Fair Assassin trilogy. The first one being Grave Mercy, the second one being Dark Triumph, and the third one is Mortal Heart. I bought this on sale. Kindle does that a lot with series. They will put them all in like a bundle pack on sale. So that's how I ended up with this one. I don't want to spoil the whole series, so I'll just read the synopsis of the first book, because to be honest, I think I've kind of forgotten what this is about. You're gonna notice that's a trend with me. I don't remember a whole heck of a lot about what books are about unless I absolutely love them. So this one, 17-year-old Esme, I think is how you pronounce that, Esme. She escapes the brutality of an arranged marriage by joining a convent, and an assignment brings her to the High Court of Brittany, I assume that's Irish, when she must navigate treason, temptation, especially with master she serves, and demands the life of the man she loves. So that sounds like fantasy romance to me. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it is YA fantasy. So I'm excited to get to that one. That sounds fun. I don't remember who read this that I took the suggestion from, but we'll see. The next series that I have on here is the Paper Magician series. There's 3 books in this one. The Paper Magician, the Glass Magician, and the Master Magician. And I also know there is a spin-off series to this as well. I'm pretty sure I have the first one. Oh, there's a 4th one. The 4th one came out. Didn't know that. The Plastic Magician. The spin-off series must take place after that, I would imagine. Spellbreaker, I do have that one. Yep. And that's a duology. This I don't remember much about, but I have seen a few people read it. One of my friends, Sam, read it a while ago and said that she liked it. It's about magicians that I think you choose something for your magic to focus on. Like, this person is apprenticing. She doesn't want to apprentice to be a paper magician, but that is what she got assigned. She wanted to do metal instead. So it's kind of her story under that apprenticeship, and I'm sure crazy things happen. But yeah, I would love to read it and find out if I like it. The next one I have on here, I'm putting a question mark next to it because I don't believe this to be a completed collection. Kindle tells me it's a completed collection, but I think it's lying. Is the Cradle collection. And what this is this is a bind up of the Cradle series. The first one, which is Cradle Foundation, is the first 3 books. The second one, Cradle Path of Gold, is the next 3. And the third one, Cradle Rise of Lords, is the 3 after that. Now, math I'm not great at, but that puts us at 9 books. There's 3 books in each bind-up, and there are 12 books in the Cradle series. So I don't know if they just don't plan on doing a 4th bind-up for those last 3 books. But there is definitely 3 more books after this. So I don't know if I should be counting that as a completed series when, like, they're missing 3 books. It's not really completed. But I've heard amazing things about the Cradle series. It's an epic fantasy series, indie published, that I would love to get to. And I got all these, I want to say, for like 99 cents on sale one day, probably when the last Cradle book was being released. They did a huge sale. So yeah, I would be excited to try that one, but it is a little bit daunting because it is a long series to jump into. The next series that I have on here, I got for free at the very beginning of COVID. It's an indie published series that the author just gave away free copies of his book so that people would have something to do during COVID, which was awesome. This series is called Dragonkin. It's indie published. It's about an ancient prophecy that speaks of 5 who will come to save dragonkind. Like most prophecies, it leaves out a lot of important details. That checks out. So basically, in each book, they're all named Dragonkin, but they are all about different dragon and dragon riders. I have read the first one, Sapphire and Lotus. The second one is Lily and Oceana. The third one is Alona and Trift. Fourth one is Jay and Fendolin, I think is how you say that. And the 5th one just says the final 2. It doesn't have their names. So this is, I liked the first one when I read it. It is a pretty good epic fantasy series. And they're all relatively short. They're not very long. So I would like to finish that series this year. These next 2 I got for free on Stuff Your Kindle Day. The first one is The Keeper Origins by J.A. Andrews. I don't know very much about this. It was free, so I just grabbed it, but it is a complete series in 1 book. I'm pretty sure it's an epic fantasy. The cover looks like it's an epic fantasy, but I couldn't tell you much about it, and I think that's okay with me. I think there are dragons in it. It was free. The second one that I got free on Stuff Your Kindle Day is the Birthright series. This is a fantasy romance series, and the tagline on it is, "My mom should have killed me the day I was born, now I have to kill my sister." It is about a girl who is a twin, and obviously their mother is queen, and they are heirs to the throne. And I'm sure some kind of political drama that happens with that. It sounded cool, so it's books 1 through 3, so I'm not sure if there are more books in the series, but I have all 3, so. The next one that I have on here is the Threadlight series by Zach Argyle. He is an indie published author. I saw that Cassidy and Mel have both read this for their Patreons, and I actually follow Zach Argyle a little bit. He does a blog where he posts all of the Spiffbo books every year, and his blog is just so much easier to, I find anyway, to follow than the actual Spiffbo blog that Mark Lawrence runs. Just like the way that Zach sets it up with all of the covers of the like books for each blog is just so much visually easier to like figure out what you're doing, I feel like. No shade to Mark Lawrence, but I like Zach Argyle's site a little bit better. But yeah, I would be interested to, I've heard good things. It's an epic fantasy series, indie published, and I really want to try to get more into indie published fantasy. So yeah, I have a whole series, might as well read it. And then the biggest and probably most well-known series on this list, my last series that I have on here, is the Completed Throne of Glass series. I was very lucky and I caught this on sale for $8. I think it was around Christmas time that they put this on sale. So I have all of them. Physically, I have the Assassin's Blade and Throne of Glass, but I don't have the rest of them physically, and I have to try to find them because I have like the cool anime covers, and they've since updated the covers, and I don't want those. So that's going to be a whole situation to try to find, but I have them all on my Kindle, and honestly, I'm not sure where to start with this series because I know the big popular thing right now, and the thing that most people suggest, is that you start with the Assassin's Blade, the novellas. But I remember when Throne of Glass came out. I remember when Christine from Poland Bananas Books hauled that book in like a Christmas book haul in, I don't know, 2015 or so. The cover with the like actual human girl on the front. And I remember the bind up coming out. It came out after Air of Fire. And like I realized that the e-novellas were published a little bit earlier, but you have to remember back like 2014, 2015, like reading on Kindle and e-novellas and stuff was not what it is today. Like Kindles were still not super popular, e-reading was still not super popular, so I don't know how many, I don't know, I'm not in Throne of Glass fandom, so I don't know, I guess, but I don't know how many Throne of Glass fans would have been reading those e-novellas as they were published. I think the majority of people were reading the bind-up when it was published physically, which was after Air of Fire. So, but I don't know, if you say that you're going to do that now, people freak out and tell you to start with Assassin's Blade. But like, I don't know, it just really bothers me to not start with the first book. I don't know. You can give me advice in the comments as to if I sound crazy or what way would be better to understand the story. Like, or I guess it depends on how you want to enjoy the story, right? Because if you read Assassin's Blade after Air of Fire, it's supposed to help with the romance of it, I guess. I've been told, but like then the interest that's in the novellas is not the same interest as in the first book. I don't know. I'm very confused. So if anyone has advice as to how I should go about this series, because I do want to read this series. I am halfway through ACOTAR series right now. I'm on Act of War, Court of Wings and Ruin, that one. So I've got that one and then the rest of that to read, and I haven't even touched Crescent City yet. That'll be the last thing that I touch. But I do want to get into that world, and I really did like ACOTAR, and Court of Mist and Fury is one of the best fantasy romance books out there. It just is. So yeah, I need help me. And that's it. That's all I have for you today. Like I said, my physical unread completed series is going to be in a different video, but that is all of the completed series that I have on my Kindle that I would like to get to. So if you enjoyed this video, thank you for watching. Make sure that you subscribe and like on your way out if you want to keep hanging out with me, and I will see you later. Bye.